Lesson 3.4, still under mathematics of buying and selling, but we will now talk about break-even. Yan, in English, when we say break-even, ano ba ibig sabihin ng break-even? Diba, pag sinabi nating break-even, parang in layman's term, ano lang, quits lang, ganon. Parang sapat lang, ganon. That's enough lang. So, in business, if we will relate it in business, when we say break-even, it is a scenario wherein the businessman experiences neither a profit nor a loss. Ano ba ibig sabihin natin ulit ng profit and loss? Again, when we say profit, profit means earning a certain amount of money and the cost for the product is returned. While loss means that the entrepreneur got less than the value of the cost of the product. So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng profit or loss. And then, if we are under break-even, ibig sabihin nun, hindi natin na-experience yung profit, walang bumabalik sa atin na, or wala tayong kinikita, tapos wala din tayong loss. So, ibig sabihin naman ng walang loss, wala ding nawawala sa atin. Ibig sabihin, yung cost na binigay mo doon sa, or yung cost na binigay mo doon sa product mo ay babalik lang din sa'yo na as in yun lang din, na yung value ng pera. Na for example, ang ginastos ko for a certain product is 450, yung balik din nun is just 450. Parang ganun yung ibig sabihin ng break even. And then, under break even, we have break even point, fixed cost, and variable cost. Ngayon, when we say break even point, it means that is the volume of sales for which total sales is equal to the total cost and where profit is equal to 0. Ibig sabihin, wala nga tayong kinita kasi nga break-even nga. And then, when we say break-even point, we're talking about the quantity of goods or quantity na kailangan yung maibenta para bumalik sa inyo yung nagastos ninyo. So, again, ulitin ko, yung break-even point ay volume or quantity. Kaya makaka-experience tayo na there are problems na they are looking for the break-even volume. Break-even volume is just the same with break-even point. Kasi isa lang naman yung ibig sabihin nila. They are just referring to the quantity of products na kailangan mong maibenta so that yung cost na nagastos mo or yung cost mo for that certain product ay babalik lang din sa'yo and wala kang kikitain at all. Next, we have the fixed cost. When we say fixed cost, these are the costs incurred regardless of the volume of the production. So, ibig sabihin, kahit ilan yung maibenta mo from the term na nga itself na fixed cost, regardless kung ilan yung maibenta mo, yan yung kailangan mong gastusin or yan na talaga yung kailangan mong gastusin para sa business mo. Ano ba yung example ng fixed cost? For example, nagpatayo ka ng isang business. So, pag nagpatayo ka ng isang business, gagastos ka ng renta para dun sa place ng business mo. Tapos, if ever yung business mo is about food business, syempre meron kang gas, meron kang electricity, meron kang water bill. So, yun yung mga fixed cost na tinatawag. Nagagastusin mo talaga siya or kailangan mo siyang pagkagastusan regardless kung ilan yung mapoproduce mong goods. Kaya nga dito, it is not dependent on the production. Kasi nga, hindi, kumbaga regardless kung ilan yung maibenta mo, kailangan mo itong gastusin or kailangan mong maglabas ng pera for this one. Next is the variable cost. When we say variable cost naman, these are the costs that depends on the volume of production. So, eto namang variable cost, eto na yung dependent dun sa production na halimbawa, 100 yung kailangan kong i-produce na pagkain. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan ko ng 100 na paper plates, kailangan ko ng 100 na utensils. So, yun yung mga variable cost. Yung mga kailangan mong gastusin para sa ipoproduce mong goods na nakadepende siya dun sa goods na ipoproduce mo. Kagaya nung sinabi ko kanina na mga, for example, pagkain yung business mo, edi yung plate, yung utensils, o kaya naman pag sa cafe, 'Di ba? Sa mga coffee shops, kung ilan ba, kailangan mong mag-produce ng 100 na kape, saan mo ilalagay yung kape? Sa palad ng customer, ganon. 'Di ba? Syempre hindi naman, dun mo sa cup ilalagay. Tapos minsan dun sa cup, meron pang cup holder, meron pang straw. So yung mga ganong yung cost na ginagastos mo for buying those raw materials or yung dun sa pagbili mo, yung perang gagamitin mo sa pagbili ng straw, pagbili ng paper cup, pagbili ng cup holder. So, yun yung tinatawag na variable cost. Next, under this lesson, we have two formula, and that is BP is equal to FC all over SP minus VC, wherein BP stands for break-even point, FC stands for fixed cost, SP stands for the selling price, and then VC stands for variable cost. Again, this is a break-even point, fixed cost, selling price, and then variable cost. Next, TV. Pag sinabi naman nating TV, hindi yan television, yan ay target volume. Ibig sabihin naman ng target volume, ito yung gusto mong quantity ng product na gusto mong ma-produce wherein magkakaroon ka ng target profit, which stands for TP naman. Na para makakuha ka ng ganitong profit, kailangan ganito yung ma-produce mong goods. Tapos, ang formula for target volume is FC, FC still fixed cost, plus the target profit all over the selling price minus the variable cost. So, yun lang yung mga kakailangan nating formula for problems under break-even. Problem number 1, Ronnie imports branded shirts from Los Angeles. He buys shirt at 125 each and sells it at 220 pesos each. He also spends a total of 133,000 for the taxes, wages of distributors, rent of warehouse, distribution, and freight costs, etc. How many shirts should Ronnie sell to be able to break even? How many shirts must Ronnie sell if he wants to have a minimum profit of 76,000 pesos? So, the same process lang ulit yan from the previous problems natin. We will have to identify the given values and also the unknown values, and then we will solve. So, before we write the given values, let us go back to the problem and analyze the given numbers. So, the first given number is 125 each. So, tignan natin kung ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng 125. So, Ronnie imports branded shirts from Los Angeles. He buys each shirt at 125 pesos each. So, ginastusan ni Ronnie yung shirt na binili niya ng 125 pesos. So, dahil cost yun, kung babalikan nyo yung formula natin, dalawa yung cost natin. It's either a variable cost or a fixed cost. At no nga uli yung variable cost nakadepende sa production or dun sa mismong product mo. Tapos yung fixed cost, hindi nakadepende sa product mo. If ito yung scenario, he buys each shirt at 125 pesos. Ano kaya yung 125? Is it a variable cost or is it a fixed cost? Sige, isip muna kayo. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, kung ang iniisip ay fixed cost yung 125 pesos, hindi po. Bakit hindi ma'am fixed cost yung 125 pesos? Kasi, yung shirt nga, di ba yung shirt, yun yung product niya. So, ibig sabihin, doon, itong 125 pesos, nakadepende dun sa product. So, dahil nakadepende yung 125 pesos dun sa product, 125 is the variable cost. Hindi siya fixed cost. Kasi nga nakadepende yung 125 dun sa number of shirt. Kaya, variable cost siya. Next, and sells it at 220 pesos each. Ano kaya yung 220 pesos each? Meron ang sabi, ayan na, sells it at 220. So, ibig sabihin, ito ay selling price. Next, he also spends a total of 133,000 pesos for the taxes, wages of distributors, rent of the house, and etc. So, ayan, mapapansin nyo, ito na, cost din siya kasi nga, he also spends. Ibig sabihin, yung businessman, yung parang nagbigay ng pera. So, ibig sabihin, cost to. Ngayon, nag-iisa na lang naman na yung cost natin, which is the fixed cost. Bakit fixed cost yung 133,000 pesos? Naging fixed cost yung 133,000 pesos dahil, ayan na, sinabi, yung 133,000 daw ay para sa tax, para sa wage ng distributors, sweldo, rent of warehouse, distribution, and freight cost. So, ibig sabihin, ito bang mga to nakadepende sa number of shirt na ipoproduce ni Ronnie? Hindi naman, 'di ba? So, ito ay talagang kailangan mo ng bayaran. Kahit ilan pa yung shirt na, kahit ilang pang shirt yung kailangan mong ibenta or kailangan mong bilhin. Kaya, yung 133,000 ay naging fixed cost. Next. How many shirts must Ronnie sell if he wants to have a minimum profit of 76,000 pesos? So, ayun na, sinabi na, profit of 76,000 pesos. So, ito yung target profit natin ngayon. So, let's write it properly. Una, meron tayong 125 pesos. Let's just use the abbreviation. Sabi natin kanina, 125 is the variable cost. Next is the 220 pesos na equal to the selling price. Ano pa yung isa? Yung isa pa is 133,000 pesos. Ito ay fixed cost. Fixed cost. And then, the last given value is the 76,000, which is our target profit. Next, we identify the unknown value. Balikan natin yung question. Ang sabi dun sa question, how many shirts should Ronnie sell to be able to break even? So, para ma-experience niya yung break even or bumalik sa kanya yung nagastos niya, yung cost niya, then, we must get the break even point or yung quantity ng number of shirts na kailangan niyang maibenta para ma-experience niya yung break-even. Second question, how many shirts must Ronnie sell if he wants to have a minimum profit of 76,000 pesos? So, ano pa din, quantity pa din yung hinihingi niya, pero may target profit na. So, ibig sabihin, ang hinahanap natin na isa ay target volume. Ganun lang. Yung target profit ka-partner niya lagi si target volume. So, pag may nakita kayong target profit, tas tinatanong is how many, automatic target volume yung hinahanap. So, next, let's now solve. Using our given values, we can now solve for the break-even point. Again, ano nga uli yung break-even point? Yung formula for the break-even point, fixed cost all over the selling price minus the variable cost. So, substituting the values, ano yung ating fixed cost kanina? We have 133,000 and then the selling price is 220 minus yung variable cost natin is 125. So, again, if your calculator is a 4-liner calculator, you can solve this one directly in your calculator na fraction, tapos 133,000, tapos arrow key ulit, yung down na arrow key, then 220 minus 125, then press equal sign. So, our break-even point is 1,400. Ngayon, if ayaw nyo naman na i-direct to sa calculator, you can just solve for 220 minus 125 first. So, that is 95. Then, ito ay 95. I'll just place it here but it's not the proper way of writing. Dapat isulat nyo ulit yung 133,000 over 95. Then, dividing 133,000 by 95, then you will still come up with 1,400. O kaya naman, para dun sa mga two-liner ang calculator, nakagawa ko ng paraan sa aking calculator na yung lalabas sa screen ng two-liner calculator, yun yung lalabas sa screen ko. Sorry, ngayon ko lang na-realize na pwede pala. So, parang ganito. You just write, pakisundan na lang yung calculator, 133,000, tapos you press the fraction function na key sa inyong calculator. Tapos lalabas yung symbol for the fraction. Tapos open parenthesis, 220 minus 125, close parenthesis, then equal sign. Ayun, 1,400 pa din po yung lalabas na answer. Next. Meron na tayong break-even point. Ang susunod natin kailangan is the target volume. Again, no need to write the formula. Sinusulat ko lang dahil masipag ako. Joke lang. Hindi, sinusulat ko lang. FC plus TP or fixed cost plus the target profit all over SP minus VC. Substituting the values, 133,000 plus the target profit na equivalent to 76,000 all over the same na 220 minus 125. Pwede nyo ito ulit directly isolve sa calcu. 133,000 plus 76,000 all over 220 plus, minus pala, joke lang, 125, then press equal sign. The answer is 2,200. So, pag gusto nyo ulit solve siya manually or step by step, you add 133,000 plus 76,000 first, tapos all over 95, then you just divide those two. O kaya naman for the calculators na ano yan? Yung calculator ay two-liner calculator, ganito lang ang gagawin. Open parenthesis, 133,000 plus, 76,000, close parenthesis, then press yung function for the fraction, open parenthesis ulit, 220 minus 125, close parenthesis. Again, kailangan yung parenthesis to parang tell the calculator na ito yung kailangan mong unang isolve. Then, press equal sign, 2,200 pa din yung lalabas na answer. So, ibig sabihin nito, kailangan makapag-produce siya ng 1,400 na shirts or makabenta siya ng 1,400 na shirt para bumalik sa kanya yung pinagkagastosan niya. Then, the target volume naman, ang ibig sabihin nito, kailangan niyang makabenta ng 2,200 na t-shirt kung gusto niyang magkaroon ng profit na 76,000 pesos. Yun lang yun.